beat in terms of, believing that things are possible. Okay, so let me show this. Are you able to see the screen, guys? So we're starting with a simple case study. We have Miss Bhavika, or now you can call her CA Bhavika. So this score sheet clearly indicates that she was able to do a calculated or planned effort in terms of final, because the scores are very balanced, and most importantly, she was able to focus on what exactly are her strengths and what exactly are her weaknesses. And you will be surprised to see where she was in the previous attempt. That is what you have to understand, because success stories are fine, but what exactly happened before the success is what you have to understand, and that is the stage where you are right now. So let me show you something. So in the previous attempt, she failed in one group. She was not even believing that she will be able to clear at least one group. So today, she mentioned about I was a student in the Super 36 batch of May 23. Fortunately, I was able to pass two. This was my second attempt. I came to sir after failing in November 22. I still remember the call very well. She was mentioning about this. Today, you're listening to me like this. It happened to her in the previous attempt. The amount of faith that he had shown, even without knowing much about my journey, it gave me the confidence to even start my preparation. And that phone call made sure about joining the group. She was talking about Super 36. What I observed during the attempt from the previous one was a systematic approach. Earlier, my approach towards every subject was a haphazard manner. What sir did was firstly give me a direction to work with. At this junction, you need not worry about the strategy. You need not worry about the direction. This is why we are looking at this. Earlier, my approach was just focusing on group one. After the failure that I faced in my earlier attempt. Sir was the guiding force that even led to me to believe that I could write both the groups, which eventually led to my success today. This is what I'm talking about. How many of you find this relatable, where you failed in one of the groups? Now you're even thinking whether you can clear one group or not. How many of you find this relatable? How many of you find this situation right now? This situation where something happened to you, you tried hard. If it's relatable, please type relatable in the chat box. If it is relatable to you, please type relatable to the chat box, because she has mentioned it very openly. She has mentioned it very honestly that she was not able to buckle herself forward. She could not even believe that she is going to clear both the groups. The reason why we put in so much efforts, like every single mail, if you have read any of our mails, if you read all of our mails, everything talks about belief. I believe, and this is not blind belief. Please understand that this is not blind belief. You've already done so much, guys. You've already done so much. It's not easy to get here. I know thousands of people who are still struggling at the intermediate level. You also know a lot of people, your peers and friends, who are still struggling at the intermediate level, right? So you've done something, that's okay. One failure, that's okay. And second thing, until class 12, failure is out of the context. The difficulty is set at a particular level that it is impossible for you to fail. You're failing because this is where people fail. People do not fail in class 10 and class 12. An exam like CA is where people fail. So it is okay. It is okay. I'm not saying your efforts are okay. I'm not saying you're done well. I'm not talking about it. It is okay to fail. It is okay to fail. Let's accept and understand, and let's start moving forward. Whatever you think of yourself, I don't know, but I'm firmly believing you the way I believe Bhavika and the way she has become CA Bhavika. It is my responsibility to make you to become a CA in November 23. Or if you want to write one group now, another group later on, I would also respect that. We'll do it accordingly. Okay. With this context, with this belief, with this new enthusiasm, shall we proceed forward? If you're excited for the session now, if you're excited, please type excited. If you're excited, please type excited. This is how we are going to start. This is how we are going to start a new journey literally today itself. Thank you for the responses. Thank you very much for the responses. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So I'm sharing the screen. I'm sharing the screen once again. Shall we proceed forward? Namaskaram once again, and thank you very much for joining us today. Today being a Sunday, and I understand how hard it is for you to come back and start sitting in a session immediately after results, 2, 3 days after results. But you took that decision, so that is the reason why I wanted to thank you for joining us today and for joining us. Just because you have joined us, you'll be getting a joining bonus link. Just because you have joined us, that's it. So we appreciate your commitment. We appreciate your commitment. I don't know whether you are going to stay till then, whether you are going to receive the finisher award, because very few students have that patience and ability to sit and understand and learn everything. I don't know about it, but since you are joined, you will get a joining bonus link to know more about how we can utilize our resources to clear in CA funnel. Okay, so for all those who need this joining bonus link, you just have to drop a mail saying joining bonus. That's it, nothing else. Will revert to you. So just send a mail to that saying join bonus, nothing else. You'll get a link. From there, you can access a very good resource, which will help you to study better almost immediately. Okay, this is about the joining bonus. And as always, we kind of give a finisher award at the end of the session to appreciate your commitment to learn. Okay, this is where we have started. In terms of the reason why we are doing, if you have noticed, we are doing emails. We kind of send email each and every single day, including exam days. We spend a lot of time and the emails are drafted to perfection. It's as if many students say that it's as if I'm talking to them. The mail comes to them. Many people say that we will be waiting for the mail to arrive at 9 a.m. If it is late, we'll be arriving at it. And we have scores of students who are cleared only by reading all mails. How many of you agree to this? How many of you agree to this? How many of you find our mails, connecting? How many of you find our mails emotional? How many of your mail find our mails useful? Right? So this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, because underlying passion is this. I want to help at least 10,000 plus semi-qualified CAs to become newly qualified CAs. So we are doing it in 3 ways. Number one, mails. Mails are completely free. But having said that, mails may not be enough. Mails are necessary, but not sufficient. Next, we are doing these workshops. Some people learn from workshops. Again, workshops are necessary, but may not be sufficient. So that is the reason why we also offer full-fledged mentorship, where we take complete hand-holding of the students till the last day of the last exam. Again, this is optional. This is only for a certain set of people who definitely wanted to clear. Okay, these are the 3 ways in which we support. And if you're willing to become a part of our Vision 10,000, like where you see yourself, like the way you see the case studies, right? The way you see other case studies. If you want your case study to be seen to others, like a super student, like a super CA, please type Vision 10,000. If you're connecting to this, please type Vision 10,000. Please type Vision 10,000. This is how you can type it. Yes. Yes. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being a part of this. I have informed about this vision to the board of studies, including the president of ICA, all of them. I got much appreciated for what I'm doing, because this will change the socio-economic status of the entire family. Okay, this is a part of the vision. That is the reason why we're doing email series, workshops, and full-fledged mentorship. These are 3 things which we do for CA students. Next, this is the reason why we are doing. Now, from your perspective, what exactly do we want you to achieve? What exactly do we want you to achieve? So we are building a 3-step career growth process. Number one, no matter where you are, whether you are confident, whether you are clear, whatever issue you're having, we don't mind. We want you to clear CA in 1 attempt or 1 year. 1 attempt or maximum 1 year. For working professionals, homemakers, or people who are yet to start their preparation and all, depending on the life situation, 1 attempt or 1 year. This is the first immediate goal. Once this is done, the next step is we want to help you start making 1 lakh per month. 1 lakh per month is the minimum you should earn as a chartered accountant in India. If you're going a different country, there's a different part, but 1 lakh per month is the minimum you should earn as a chartered accountant in India. Next, once it is done, that is only the beginning. 1 lakh per month is the beginning. You should be able to build a path to a net worth of 10 crore. If you have a net worth of 10 crore, why 10 crore? It's closer to $1 million. $1 million is equal to currently 8.2 crores. By the time, you kind of come out and start building it, it becomes 100 rupees at some point of time, and that is closer to 10 crore. Ideally, if you have this kind of money, you'll have a very, very comfortable life, both for your parents and for your kids. Okay. You are at the middle, right? You have a family, ancestral family, and then the next family which you're creating. So both for the 3 generations, you live a very, very comfortable life. And I believe your parents have done enough for you so that they deserve that quality of life. It's not about money. It's not about earning money or saving money. It is all about what kind of life quality you have. And let's say you wanted to start your own startup tomorrow. You want to grow your own practice. You want to start your own teaching industry. So anything, you need some capital. So that is the reason why we are building it. Okay. So if you are committing to me, just like the way you're committed that you want to clear, if you are committing to me with the 3-stage career growth, please type, I want to go to all 3 stages. I want to go all 3 stages. If you're looking at all 3 stages, please type all 3 stages. If you're somebody who is hungry, who is ambitious, if you're, somebody who doesn't stop at a particular step, if this is resonating with you, please type all 3 stages. So this is how we want you to build. So that is the reason why, if you see, we spend a lot of time in improving your capacity, your mental capacity. We don't talk about self-sympathy. We don't create pseudo motivation. We want you to build you in a particular personality. Now, when we say super student, this is what I meant. Super student. You're not a struggling student. You're a very powerful super student who deserves to do this. And that is the reason why in the mentorship, you consciously build your personality also. There are a lot of effort which continuously goes on building your mindset, the way we are doing, the way your experience. Okay. So this is a 3-stage career growth. You're not just talking about CA, but you have to hit this 10 crore path. Okay. Thank you for sharing your ambitious plans with me. I appreciate that. Now, the reason why we are meeting today specifically is this action plan. There are various ways of looking at it, but let me decode this for you simply, and then we'll keep digging deeper in a phase-wise manner. Number 1. Now, this is what we have built for our internal students. Now, one thing about HimLife School is we don't differentiate between students internally, externally, whatever it is. We believe whatever is right. So this is what we share with our Super 36 students. This is the plan which we are implementing for our Super 36 students. So we don't give a separate plan here and there. This is the same plan which the premium or paid students are using. This is the same plan which I'm showing it to you also. So please pay attention. This is highly valuable. Now, what we normally do. So the first stage is called induction. Like, let's say yesterday somebody joined, today somebody joined, today in the workshop, few more people will join. Now, as and when you join, the first step is we make sure you get started with boot camps. Now, what is this boot camp all about? Once the result comes out, it is very difficult to restart the preparation. What happens is the momentum is gone. You had some expectation and you had a negative affiliation. You cannot start. There will be a serious starting problem. I'm not doubting your intention. Although you would like to start, it is very difficult for you to restart your preparation because there is some hesitation. There is something which is stopping you from within. How many of you are experiencing this? If you're experiencing this, please type me. If you're experiencing this, please type me. You can be frank. You can be open. I won't judge you because this is normal. This is normal for every one of us. Thank you for being open, guys. Thank you. I appreciate your honesty. Thank you very much. Thank you. So what happens in this bootcamp is we create very, very aggressive targets. Like what happens is you're in a state of inertia. You're not able to do things. We give a challenge. Like in school, we used to play games, right? Video games and PS2, PS3, PS4, all of that connect. So what happens in a game is you have a why are games exciting? Why are studies not exciting? I'll tell you one, games always come with a time limit. Games always come with a time limit. Any sport, let's say cricket, 50 overs, T20, the lesser the time, the more exciting the game becomes. The lesser the time, the more exciting the game becomes. Let's say you're playing a car race. You have to race with the opposition car or the system car within that particular time. So when something comes with a deadline, when something comes with the time limit, it's called a challenge. Any game. If there is no time limit, it can never be challenged. It is always boring. If you think this is a bulb on moment for you, please type bulb on. If you think this is a bulb on moment for you, please type bulb on. So you're understanding, right? Why games are exciting, why studies are not exciting. So we are gamifying your preparation. We are gamifying preparation. We are seeing exceptional results for people who were going through this boot camps. Okay, we give very intense and tight targets, which will help you to kickstart your momentum, right? So this happens till July 20. Whenever you're joining, today, tomorrow, whenever you're joining, this is the boot camp which will start immediately on the same day itself. Next, phase 1. Okay, July 21st to September 30th. What exactly is phase 1 going to do? Number 1, you need to understand there is a difference between syllabus completion and revision. Syllabus completion and revision. While you're completing syllabus also, you have to revise. See, please understand two things. While you're completing syllabus, you're revising to remember what you have studied. So this revision is all about to remember what you have studied. Apart from this, the cumulative revision is all about deepening your concepts, increasing your concepts clarity, enhancing your subject precision. So one revision is about remembering. See, what is remembering? Whatever you study, remember. You're not going deep. But the actual revision, it's not just memory. The actual revision will also help you to increase your understanding, not just your memory. Revision is not just about your memory. Please understand that. Revision is not just about your memory. Memorizing is about memory. Revision is not just about your memory. Revision should enhance your conceptual clarity. It will enhance your precision. It will enhance your ability to recall and present in the exam. So revision has a deeper meaning. So that is the reason why revision has to be exclusively done over and above memorizing or remembering along with your syllabus completion. So we make sure syllabus completion is separate, revision is separate. So exclusively revision month has to happen. We are very strict about it. We are so strict that I'll tell you how strict we are. We're so strict that if somebody is not able to complete, their syllabus by September 30th, if 1 or 2 subjects are left out, we don't accept it. If you're writing both group syllabus will be done by September 30. It's not like the second group syllabus you're starting from October. No, if you're starting your syllabus completion or if you're still studying in October, you'll never pass. You can take it from me. That will never happen. Revision has to happen. So it is very important to use your entire October for revision. And if you could revise in that manner, if you could do that kind of revision in the month of November, it will be easy for you to, complete the 1.5 revision. If you're not doing this, I'm telling you, if you're taking 150 hours to study something without compressing it, without revising it once or twice before the exam, if you directly try to revise it in 1.5 day, it is impossible for you to remember. It is impossible for you to revise because 150 hours to 15 hours is not going to happen. 150 hours to, let's say 50-60 hours, from 50-60 hours to 16-20 hours is how it is happening. So this is dependent on this. Only when you can revise everything in the 1.5 before the exam, you can have the perfect 3-hour exam strategy. So only when you are completely revising everything within the 1.5 days, and only when you're able to complete the cumulative revision before October 31st, and that is possible only when you kickstart your syllabus completion immediately. So if these 3 phases are powerful, please type powerful. If this strategy is powerful, please type powerful. I want all of you to keep interacting. I want all of you to keep responding, keep interacting. Thank you. Yeah, ultra powerful is a very, very right word. Okay, this is what it is. Wonderful, guys. So even after the exam, we'll sit and we'll evaluate the pass probability ratio. We'll understand what are the next steps, and then the career guidance part. We are expanding the horizon of what we're doing. Next time, we're also looking to place our students. We're also trying to help them build their own practice. So there are a lot of things which are exciting things are coming up. I will share more details on our upcoming anniversary. We are celebrating a 3rd anniversary on July 22nd. You'll also get an invite. Now, in terms of this 100-day action plan, there are 3 aspects. Should I write group 1? Should I write group 2? Should I write both groups? This is one set. Now I'm a full-time student. I'm a limited time student. So when I'm talking about this, never ever understand any plan in isolation. Just because I said this, you cannot jump to a conclusion. It always depends on this. We call it life situation. Are you having full time? Or are you having only limited time? When you're having full time, this decision becomes different. When you're having only limited time, again, your decision will become different. Okay, so this is how you have to take a decision. So I'm giving you the overview. The customization happens. Like what we do is in the mentorship, we kind of understand the further details of each and every individual student, how much time they have, and the decision making. Group 1, group 2. I'll tell you one important hack here. The decision to write one group or both groups. The decision to write one group or both groups should be a consequence of your effort. It's not like you decide and then you try. Now you should try first. You should see how the things are going. If you can reach a curriculum, a particular point that you can complete the entire syllabus of one group by August 31st, then you should think of the other group. You're understanding? You should be reasonably able to complete the entire syllabus of one group at least anytime between August 15 to August 31st. If your one group syllabus is not completed even by August 31st, forget about the other group. This is the only piece of advice which I can give you. See, Bhavika has clearly said that I was the one who helped her to push right into both the groups. But you need to understand at the same time, it is important for you to take a decision which should not risk your single group also. So that is the reason why we put a lot of time. We kind of do the data-driven decision making. How much is your comfort level? What exactly have you covered so far? What is your previous score? What is your current preparation speed and everything? So that is how we kind of help you take a decision. So don't make it an arbitrary decision. And group 1 versus group 2 is a choice. Group 1 versus group 2 is a choice. One group versus both groups is not a choice. You're understanding? One group versus both groups is not a choice. It's a consequence of your ability. Just because you want to write both groups, you cannot write both groups. Because group 1 or group 2 is a choice. Because anyways, you have to start with one of the groups. But when you're talking about one group versus both groups, it's not a direct choice. Just because you write, let's say it's like one car versus two cars. Obviously, everybody wants to buy two cars, but do you have the capability is what you have to look at, right? I hope you're understanding. If this is deep enough, please type deep. This is not a direct choice. It is not a direct choice. Don't make it look like a choice. It's unfortunate that nobody is guiding you in this. It is not a direct choice. It's group 1 versus group 2 is a choice. Both groups as a single group is not a choice. It's a consequence of your competence. It's a consequence of your competence. You'll have to think in that perspective. You should not be desperate. You should not be desperate. That is not going to happen. I'm the same person who is recommending a lot of students to write both groups. I'm the same person who is saying write only one group. I do both. I do what is best for you. That is what my role as a mentor. Okay. Since this is a context, we looked at it. In terms of, okay, now these five phases are divided into these three phases are divided into 5 steps. I'll tell you what exactly are those 5 steps. Now, how many of you have already watched the 12-minute masterclass? We have asked you to watch the masterclass. If you have watched the masterclass, I don't want to repeat it. If you haven't watched it, please type in the chat box watched. If you have watched it, please type watched. If you haven't, not watched. Okay, that would be 50%, 50%. Okay, good. Fair enough. I think 50-50, probably I'll slightly touch upon it so that everybody gets on the same page. Okay, understood. So in that masterclass, we spoke about 5 steps, right? Can somebody repeat the steps? Okay, let's see how much memory you have. Can somebody repeat the steps? What are the 5 steps? What are the 5 steps? I mentioned about implementation, right? 5-step framework. What are the 5 steps? Anyone? Step number 1. If you have watched it, all those who are saying, I have watched it. Very good. Strong mindset. Very good. Okay, mindset is step number 1. What is the step number 2? Routine. Wonderful, guys. Wow, you remember it. Good. Yes, predictive routine. Yes. Syllabus completion. Yes, you're right. Revision or retention. Yes, you're right. What is the last step? Fantastic, guys. Done a good job. Good. What is the last step? Exam preparation. In a way, presentation. Preparation is a wider term. Yes, you're right. So to give you a quick context, yes, guys, thank you. Fantastic. So to give you a quick context, we spoke about 3 phases, right? Planning, implementation, improvement. Planning, implementation, improvement. Now, in planning, we have to take a set of decisions. In implementation, there are 5 steps. First, you have to fix your mindset. You have to build your routine. And then you have to complete your syllabus. And then you have to do revision. And then you have to focus on the exam presentation. All of them will go together and also in a phase-wise manner. And improvement. Improvement is where we spoke about some super student techniques. Okay, this is exactly how it is. So in order to execute all of these 5 steps, now this is for people. Let's say there are a lot of people who have been pinging us who have submitted the mentorship eligibility test and all of that. So one thing you have to understand, we have been getting a lot of applications. It was not possible for us to respond or react, especially after result. This will go like this for the next three weeks. Like until July end, we won't be able to respond to most of the requests which are coming. So that is the reason why we create workshops so that people can take a decision after understanding what it is. So if somebody wants us to take the complete responsibility like what we have done for Bhavika, you need to give us this 100 days. We need 100 days, not less than that. We are specific and clear that we need 100 days, especially if you're fancying both the groups. The more time you give us, the higher are the possibilities. So if you are interested, If you're interested, if you want to take step forward, this is the right time. So I'll help you how you can get going and how you can convert from this workshop to mentorship towards the end. But right now, one thing which I'm very clear is we want 100 days, guys. 100 days is very important. When we say we want 100 days, you also need 100 days. So please don't postpone your preparation. Please do not postpone your preparation is the underlying point. That is the reason why we are creating this urgency to kickstart your preparation. Done. So these 5 steps which we discussed, I'll just give you a basic context here. And then I'll show you with the case studies. Okay, I'll give you a context and then I'll explain with case studies how they are able to use these 5 steps to clear. Okay, number 1, mindset. In order to build a strong mindset, or in order to understand what it takes to build a strong mindset, do you have the ability to sit with complete concentration and focus for 50 minutes? Do you have the ability to sit with complete concentration and focus without any deviation for 50 minutes? Please type yes or no. Please type yes or no. I want honestly. If you start reading something, there should not be any physical or mental distraction. 50 minutes straight, 50 minutes. I'm not talking about 2 hours, 50 minutes. Okay, that's quite honest of you. 35 minutes max. Yes, normally that is the problem. Yes. Okay. Step number 1, 50 minutes. Step number 2, do you have the ability to repeat it 8 to 10 times? The way you're sitting for 50 minutes, do you have the ability to repeat it 8 to 10 minutes? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Simple answer. Yes or no? Sitting for 50 minutes and then repeating it for 8 to 10 times. If the answer is no, please don't do anything. I'm telling you on a very serious note. Please don't do anything except focusing heavily on your mindset. Because what will happen is, if you're not fixing a drive, it's like a leaked pipe. Now you're opening the pipe, bucket has a leakage. Whatever you read, it's draining. It's completely draining. You'll never ever be able to complete the syllabus. I'm telling you, if you're not fixing your mindset, this is a problem with majority of the students. If you have the guts to admit this, or if you have experienced it in the previous attempt, please mention agreed. If you're agreeing this, you've experienced it, where you are sitting to study, but you're not able to utilize it, where your mind is dancing, where your schedule and routines are fluctuating. If you're accepting what I'm saying, please type agreed. Please type agreed. Now for this first step, I can't tell you like how much work has been done in this. In fact, the highest amount of work has been done in this from the Him Life Schools perspective. It all started as a mind mastery. Like we started with mind mastery session and then it evolved here. So this is our core strength. Like this is our USP. We are the best in India for any exam. Like we are the best in India. You talk about anyone, nobody comes anywhere closer. That's the reason why I'm telling you, if you do this, if you fix your mindset properly, even if you miss out on 1 or 2 steps, if you fix your mindset properly, even if you miss out on 1 or 2 steps, you'll still be able to clear the exam. If this is lacking, there is zero margin for error in syllabus completion, revision, and exam presentation. If your mind is reasonably fine, if your mind is reasonably proper, it's reasonably strong, you'll handle the fluctuations. Let's say some syllabus is not completed. Let's say some revision is not done, but still you'll be able to manage. Like you respect Dhoni, right, for something, not because of a batting, not because of his keeping, because of his captaincy. What is captaincy? He thinks in a particular way. He knows when to use which resource, whether he has the right resources or not. He makes sure he engages them. You'll also get to know when to use which resource. Like you see the question paper, you don't know 50% of the marks, but then you focus on answering the first 50 marks. And that is exactly how our students are able to do it. Now, this is the first part. Routine. How many of you can study for 10 hours a day for at least 5 days a week? Yes or no? 10 hours a day, 10 hours with this focus. I'm talking about 10 hours with this focus. Yes or no? 10 hours a day for at least 5 days. If your answer is no, if you're working professional, you can mention 5 hours, guys. If you're working professional, 4 to 5 hours. See, mindset, we have a complete process. Like, why are we asking for 100 days? Every single day there is an insight and mindset. Even today I was talking something about mindset. Mindset builds over a period of time. Whatever I say in 1 hour, you cannot build it. It has to be done. Like we grow your mind like a plant. I cannot, You cannot plant a tree, right? You have to raise it. You have to nurture it every single day. You have to water it. That's what happens in mentorship. What happens in motivation is they'll try to fix a tree. It won't sustain. That's the problem. So mindset has to be groomed in that manner only. Yeah. Okay. So if you're not hitting 10 hours a day, I'll tell you the problem. If you're not hitting 10 hours a day, what will happen is, if you're saying 4 to 5 hours, out of 100 days, what is the net amount of time? Let's say 100 days into average number of hours. What is the amount of time you have to clear in November? What is the average amount of time you have to clear in November? If you're talking about the number of hours you're studying, what is the average amount of time you have to clear a number? Is it sufficient, guys? Now tell me, if you have 400 to 500 hours, would it be sufficient? Now we're talking about 400 to 500, including revision, including exam practice. You look at it. Now, when you have an opportunity, why don't we search it? Even today, I was discussing with the chartered accountant who has some experience in examination committee. So we were discussing about why students are, looking at very, very tight cutoffs. What will happen is, if you're stuck at 160, 170, you're assuming this is enough. What if you are prepared for another 100 hours? All those who have scored 170 plus, had you prepared for 100 more hours? All those who have scored 170, had you prepared for 100 more hours, which is 10 days. 100 hours is equal to 10 days. Would you not have cleared? Had you prepared for 100 more hours? 100 more hours, yes or no? Like when you started aggressively in the month of, let's say, April, 100 more hours. All those who are touched 170. Think about it. 10 more days with high level of intensity. You look at it, right? Half more day, 1 more day before the exam. When you are trying to steal that from that point, why don't you do it right now? That is what we're talking about. So when you build a routine, see, I can show you case studies where our working professionals, some of our students who have cleared in 10 days, only with 10 days leave. We have extreme examples. I can show you case studies where students have cleared even after 12 attempts, but that's not the benchmark, right? Clearing in 10 days or clearing after 12 attempts are not benchmark. They'll give you confidence, they'll give you hope that no matter where you are, you can clear. That's a good, hopeful story, but that should not be made a norm. Exception should not be made a norm, right? So that is the reason why you have to maximize your time, whatever is available. Like working professionals, when you have only 400 to 500 hours, it is okay because you are far more efficient. Working professionals have a different sense of efficiency, and then you are relaxed. Full-time students have to go through some other trouble in terms of the financial struggle and all. So working professional 5 hours is equal to full-time student 7 hours. So provided you use the 5 hours, that's a different story. But in general, you have to maximize the number of hours in a routine. Syllabus completion strategy, you have to complete any subject within 7 to 10 days. Any subject within 7 to 10 days. All of this, I'll show you practical case studies. I'm not talking about it in theory. All of this has been built out of case studies of 500 plus people who have cleared after multiple attempts. So this is the strong part. Revision 3 to 5 times. Revision has to happen for 3 to 5 times. Exam presentation mastery, you should be able to cross 40 plus in the first 3 hours. If you have to, clear CA final, one group or both groups, in every single paper, you have to cross 40 plus in the first 2 hours. Exam is not for 3 hours. Exam is for 2 hours. The remaining 1 hour is to increase the aggregate or try for an exemption. You have to pass 40 plus in all papers in just 2 hours. If you're understanding what it is, if you're understanding the importance of this, please type pass in 2 hours. Pass in 2 hours. Like first 1 hour, attempt around 40, score 24 plus. Second 1 hour, attempt another 30 plus marks and score another 15 to 18. And then cross 40 plus in 2 hours. Pass in 2 hours. Perfect. Okay. So this is the 5-step framework which you have to keep in mind. So this is very, very important. You have to build your preparation using this. Now, in order to understand the practical aspect of it, we have looked into 3 secrets based on the 5-step preparation framework. Okay. So we'll discuss 3 secrets, which includes the concept plus case study. Okay. Secret number 1 is you will never fail in the examination, but in the preparation. Secret number 1 is very, very, very important and insightful. You will never fail in the examination, but in the preparation. Now let me explain the case study and then I'll explain the concept further. So this is about, we'll never fail in the examination, but in the preparation. Number one, I'll explain this to you. You'll never fail in the examination, but in the preparation. It all started in the month of December 2020. While I was surfing through social sites, I came across an advertisement regarding a workshop called Super Student, stating the above line. Like similarly, he also attended a workshop like this. I immediately registered for the workshop and attended the workshop from 21st of December 2020 to 25th December 2020. It was then I came to know about mentorship, but did not register for the program, thinking that I got enough time for May 21, and the fees was not up to my standard. After 6 months, I realized that I'm going to fail May 2021 exams, as I could complete only one revision, that too on a selective basis. Only one revision on a selective basis. Now, this is a very powerful statement, guys. I am going to fail May 2021 exams is what he has said. He did not even write the exams. In the preparation itself, he realized that he's going to fail in May 2021. Now, as he thought, he gave the exams in the month of July and failed. At this junction, how many of you realize that you can only pass or fail in the preparation, not directly in the examination? Only when you do well in your preparation, you can do well in the examination. Only when you do well in the preparation, you can do well in the examination. If you agree to this, please type agreed. If you agree to this, please type agreed. Thank you, Akhil. Thank you, Krishna. Thank you, Aditya. Thank you, Harsh. Thank you, Harshit. Anisha, yes. Yes. Yes, this is very important. This is very important. Thank you, Samantha. So yes, you need to understand that the focus should completely come to the preparation. Come to the preparation. It is all about preparation. Now, I'll also, since the context is there, a lot of students have been asking us, you're very good at articulation. You kind of simplify the concepts. You're very good at helping us identify mistakes. Why don't you start coaching? Why don't you start test series? Why don't you start coaching? Why don't you start test series? How many of you had this question? Maybe some of you also asked us. How many of you had this question? Why are we not doing coaching and why are we not giving you test series like what the market thinks to? How many of you have this question? And why are we not selling you material, right? I think we constantly get this mails, constantly get this, right? Now, this is the reason, guys. This is the reason. Now, coaching, please listen to me. Coaching is like a bat. Like you go outside, you buy a bat. If you're thinking that there is a bat which will help you to become a Sachin Tendulkar, there is a bat which will make you a good batsman, that bat does not exist. That bat does not exist. Buying a good bat is definitely important, no doubt about it. But just because you buy a bat, or you buy a book, or you buy a video, or you buy a coaching class, it's not going to help. Coaching gives you information. Coaching gives you information. Preparation is a process. Coaching cannot help you to process the information in a refined manner. Preparation is different. Now, what do I mean by preparation? When you have to learn something, you have to learn either from a book. You have to learn either from a book, or you can learn from a coaching class. So coaching is a substitute to your book. Coaching class is a substitute to your book, is not a substitute to your self-study, or it's not a substitute to your preparation. That is the reason why you think you have completed your coaching. You think you have completed syllabus, but the faculty has completed his syllabus. The faculty's job is done. His mission is accomplished. Your job is not done. If you understand this, if you find this deep enough, please type deep. If you could get this single thought, if you get this single insight, the way you prepare will change. Because I've seen hundreds of students stuck with coaching. I bought this, I paid this, I have X number of views, I have this validity. You keep watching it, you keep watching it. Imagine, guys, if you have 500 hours of preparation, if you're spending 200 hours for watching a class of one subject, when would you prepare? When would you practice? When would you revise? When would you know whether you know that or not? If this is deep enough, please type deep. Now, that is the reason why. That is the reason why we don't touch coaching. It is not important. It is only 15-20%. It doesn't make a difference. I'm telling you. Even if I come and start coaching, probably we can be better than many others. That is something which I'm sure. But that is not the point. Now let's come to mock tests. You have hundreds of mock tests. ICAI conducts mock tests. Right now, you know, even if you pay 100 rupees, you can get a paper, right? Somebody says something, somebody says they write something in red ink. But you understand, coaching is here. Mock test is only for testing. Mock test is not for improving your capacity. It is only for testing. It only says you know, I don't know. But When you don't know, it doesn't say how you have to know. It says you got 21. It doesn't talk about how you can move from 21 to 51. Yes or no? Yes or no? Is it the intention of mock test? Yes or no? It is here. It is here. It doesn't build the concrete ones. It is only packaging. Coaching and coaching and mock tests are at the extreme ends of the packaging. But what you need is a process. What you need is a process. Now, when I look at something like this, when he said this, I'm going to fail in May 2021. So you understood that he is going to fail in the preparation. Now, that is when we realized 85% of students in CA, 85% of students in CA are failing in preparation. Much before they enter the examination hall, they're already failing because they're not able to prepare. They're not able to stay focused. They're not able to build a routine. They're not able to complete the syllabus. They're not able to revise enough number of times. They're not able to write the exams in a particular format. They're not able to evaluate what is going wrong, what is going wrong. They're not able to sustain the preparation for 70 to 80 days. What they're not able to understand what is going wrong and improve upon it. So that is the reason why we decided, okay, if we take an intervention is here, if we take an intervention, all the students, we are taking simple intervention in mentorship alone. Now you are seeing the best ever results in India. People are clearing like hell. They're clearing after hundreds, I would say multiple attempts, and hundreds of students are doing it. Now this is possible only because we have focusing on the preparation process. Now that is the reason why today I've invited you to tell you the importance of preparation. Don't worry about the examination. You should not have exam fear. You should have preparation fear. If at all you have to be scared, you have to be scared about preparation. Examination is an outcome. Examination is a 3R thing. If at all you have to be scared, you have to worry about the preparation, whether I'm able to prepare well or not, whether I'm able to study well today or not. That is exactly what you have to focus upon. Okay. So this gives it. And now he mentions that, as it said, life gives you second chance. It was in the month of September when I again came to know about Subhadatics mentorship, and I applied and selected for the program. Now the program fee is relatively higher than the earlier program. I somehow managed the funds and my journey started towards December 21. So this is a common thing, guys. Somehow, it's unfortunate. The reason is we have noticed that most of the students are coming to us in one workshop. They're excited, they're interested, but they're not able to take a decision. The reason is they overvalue money than time. He also did the same thing. He wanted to save money. He ended up wasting time, and then he came back. That is what is happening with majority of the students. The reason is they're not valuing the opportunity cost. You should know that if you're not clearing today, it's in the previous attempt, if you're not clearing, if you're writing a number, you're already wasting 75,000 per month. It's a real-time opportunity cost. You have to trust that you are valued at 75,000. Only know that when you know that your value is 75,000, when you know that your day value is 3,000, that is the day where you say no to a lot of useless things. You can say no to your mom asking you to bring dahi atta and all of that. You can say no to your friend calling for something. You can say no to your random cousin's shadi when you know that your value is 3,000 per day. That is what you have to understand. So anyways, at some point of time I realized, so at least in the second chance he has realized and he came back. This time it's 80 days for my exams. I have started preparing on the guidance of Himakansan. The result is passed. I'm thankful for Himakansan for letting me know my mistakes and teaching me techniques of learning, for providing the right guidance through the program and even during the exams to make me chartered accountant. Now this is what I'm talking about. What has changed? What has changed is we looked into the planning, implementation, and improvement, right? Now implementation is this, like he's talking about all of this. Implementation, mindset has improved, routine has improved, syllabus completion, everything we did. Apart from that, teaching me the techniques of learning. Now this is a very important statement. That is the reason why I wanted to attention there. What is the technique of learning? You're learning in a particular way. Let's say you read something, this time also you read. If there is no difference in your technique, if there is no difference in your approach, if there's no difference in your process, you'll get the same result. Just because you work hard, it is not going to do anything. I'll tell you one more example. You're supposed to go north, you're going south, Last time you failed, you increase the speed, you bought a bigger car, you're driving faster, you're still going south. When will you reach? Never. You came back, you once again went in that direction. The whole point is, if you're not going in the right direction, it doesn't matter how many times you do. It is not automatically going to improve your score. If you don't trust me, think about your scores. For all those who have written 2-3 attempts, look at the scores. If the scores are stuck, if the improvement is not more than 30 marks, this is what I'm talking about. You're not able to improve. Implementation is one thing. Planning is one thing. Implementation is one thing. What about the improvement? How would you improve? When was the last time you improved your study technique? When was the last time you improved your revision process? When was the last time you improved your exam writing capability? So improvement is essential. You cannot crack final with the same level of foundation or inter. You cannot crack it. It's a different ball game. Look at the percentage, 8.33. If you're looking at the current, both groups are 11% for group 1, right? So when you're looking at this kind of percentage, it talks about you cannot crack it with the existing capacity. You need to increase your capacity. Now, what on earth are you doing about increasing capacity other than watching those useless motivational videos? Motivational videos are solving a temporary headache. It's like crocin, nothing else. What capacity would you increase? You watch 100 motivational videos every single day, half a dozen. What capacity did you increase? Now, what is increasing capacity? You're not able to remembering something. How are you improving your memory power? How are you connecting the concept which you learned today to a concept which you're learning tomorrow, which you're connecting it? This is what you have to talk about. Now, I want you to understand you have to focus on improvement. It is not about sheer hard work or repeating what you have already been doing. You have to focus on improving your core skills, core techniques, right from syllabus completion, right from revision, right from exam presentation. We call it hacks or techniques, right? You understand there is a better way of doing it. Now, if you understand the importance of improvement, please type improvement is important. Please type improvement is important. This is the single most important lesson from this case study. We started with you never fail in the exam but in preparation. But if you're consistently failing in the preparation, if you're failing in the preparation, that is because you're not improving your preparation. You're not improving yourself. Please type improvement is important. Thank you, Akhil. Thank you, Meenakshi. Thank you, Sneha. Thank you, Anisha. Thank you, Mukti. So it is important for you to know this. Thank you, Pooja. Yes. Okay. So let's move to the next case study. Now, once again, we are talking about preparation here, because if you're not understanding the importance of preparation, you'll waste time. I don't want to waste time. And I'm telling you as your mentor, I feel insulted if you fail. I feel insulted if you fail. I take it personally, guys. I don't know about others. I take it personally. Your failure is my failure. Your failure is my failure. So when I say things, I say with a sense of conviction. I say with a sense of confidence. I won't speak a single word until I put in the 10,000 plus hours. So I come with that sense of conviction. When I'm talking on national media, recently a lot of TV channels are interviewing this because they have never heard of something like this in India. Now, when I'm talking with conviction, I want this to enter. I want you to know that preparation is very, very, very important. That is the reason why we're looking at one more case study which talks about preparation. So what is this? Super 36 is successful combo of smart work and hard work. I was a student of Super 36 batch. I cleared my CA in November 2022 attempt. Before joining Him Life School, I thought I was failing in exams. Please look at it. Before joining Him Life School, I thought I was failing in exams. But after joining, I realized that I was failing in the exam preparation itself. So you do not fail in exams. You cannot fail in exams. You do not fail in exams. You'll only fail in the exam preparation itself. This is the game changer. So there is nothing much you can do in those 3 hours. There is everything you can do in those 3 months. In the 3 months or 4 months starting today, you can do many things. Okay. So this is what you have to understand. So right now, I can tell you that preparation is important than examination. I want you to type it. Priya, I'll help you out. Lalita, I'll help you out. I'll take care of it. This is what I do. I don't do anything else. This is my only thing. I'll help you out. Okay. So preparation is important than exam. I'm telling you, preparation is important than examination. Please type that sentence. Preparation is important than examination. Not important. I'm not talking about important. Preparation is important than examination. I want all of you to write it. I want all of you to write it. Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you, guys. Thank you for accepting this. Perfect. Next, most of the CA students lack an effective approach in self-learning and self-evaluation. With the help of techniques such as color coding, 5-time revision, weekend exam, self-evaluation, indexation, I was able to learn and revise the subjects effortlessly. Now we're talking about techniques. What is techniques? Once again, improvement. If you remember, we're talking about improvement, right? Techniques, improvement, techniques, improvement. This is exactly what you need to learn and remember. So by doing the same thing once again, you cannot do. Step number 1, you have to focus on preparation. Okay, let me focus on my preparation. Now, how do I improve my quantity and quality of preparation? Quantity of preparation can be used with a routine. Like we send you wake up calls. We kind of meet for live sessions at early in the morning. Magic of mornings. They'll improve the quantity of preparation. Like it's from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. You'll be preparing. Fair enough. If you're a working professional, you'll prepare for at least 4 to 5 hours, which you normally cannot do. That is also done. Now, how can you improve the quality of preparation is what the techniques come into picture. We have 9 super student techniques where we got a copyright from the government of India. So this is where the quality of preparation improves. That is what she's talking about. Now, if you look at what Suresh has said here, if you look at what Suresh has said, if you look at what Pavni is saying, you need to pay importance to what this qualified CS are taking. Now they are relatable to you. They are the ones who failed earlier. Now when they're clearing, they went through the same path. When they went through the same path, when you are in the failure spot, you can reach out the success spot. That is how you visualize that. Okay, when they're saying that, okay, preparation is important, you have to learn it like a life lesson. Preparation is important. Next, techniques are important. You have to definitely implement these techniques. However, we must not be under the impression that success is guaranteed by joining the mentorship program unless we're ready to dedicate ourselves to the process. How mature it is. Fantastic line. Fantastic line. So this is what we wanted to convey. Don't get over motivated just because somebody got a rank. I'm telling you, some faculty student got 97 in SFM. Now 97% of the students know that they will never ever cross 60 in SFM. Still they get excited, still they take a decision. Now you need to understand, is it relevant to you? Is it relevant to you? So everybody has a chance to get a rank. Everybody has a chance to get a rank. I'm not talking about it. Now you need to understand at a practical level in the current life situation, where you are, where you have to go, what is practical. I'll give you the mark sheet. I'll tell you the mark sheet analysis, then you'll know what I'm talking about. We don't give bullshit motivation targets. We give practical targets. The correction or the difference is so less. Like generally our mark sheets between what people expect and what they get are less than 5%. Now, yesterday, Urvasi is saying, my target was 244. I ended up getting 250. My target was 244, I ended up getting 250. Look at how close it is. This is what I'm talking about. So you need to understand that this is just because somebody cleared, it is not going to be automatic. You have to be very clear that you are willing to dedicate yourself to the process. You're willing to commit yourself to the process. You're willing to dedicate yourself for the next 100 days. When somebody like that comes, when you're in that kind of person, the impact of group study. For example, Him School provides an atmosphere where even hard work becomes an effortless process due to the impact of group study, group tracker, and healthy competition. Now, what is this? Every day you'll be having group targets. Every day you'll be discussing with peers. Next Monday at 9 p.m., we have a group session where 4 students are coming and presenting each subject in 10 minutes. Summary of the entire financial reporting in 10 minutes. They have worked more than 100 hours to do that. But you need to understand, it is impossible to believe. Now we do that things. If you have to revise the entire syllabus in 1.5 days, you need to go through multiple cycles of summarization. Now this is where the group study comes into picture. But before you rely on group study, as an individual, you should be willing to commit yourself. You should be willing to commit yourself. Once you commit yourself, rest of the things will be taken care by the group, by the mentor, by the process. But the first thing is you should be willing to fully commit yourself. Now at this junction, how many of you are willing to commit yourself for the next 100 days? How many of you are willing to commit yourself for the next 100 days? Preparation, our CA preparation should be the most important thing in your life. I am willing to commit myself for the next 100 days. Write this sentence. Don't raise your hand. Write this sentence. Write it. I'm willing to commit myself for the next 100 days. Write it. Write it. Please write it. Don't be lazy. This is what we make you do. Every single day, revision, you have to write it. You have to write every single day. I'll show you the trackers. You'll be amazed. Perfect. Okay, 100 days commitment. Fantastic, guys. Good. One-to-one guidance and motivation helped me in rectifying the weakness in my study approach. In short, Super 36 is a successful combo of smart work and hard work, which help us achieve our dream of becoming a CA. I highly recommend each of you to join Him School, as it will increase the probability of you becoming a chartered accountant in the next attempt. Like this is obvious, right? When somebody takes a step, normally if you have probability of 5%, it will get closer to 100% if you follow everything. So this is an insane probability game. That is the reason why so many people are very much willing to join us. And right now we are getting a lot of response from parents. Like today we got a parent from a different state. We said we don't have offline, but still they come from a different state to meet us. Like that is the kind of trust we are getting these days. So you need to understand, first of all, you decide that I'm ready to commit myself for the next 100 days. Then the next steps, somebody will help you. It could be us, it could be somebody. Now, once you're ready for putting your best for the 100 days, you'll find a way, you'll find a mechanism. Okay. So this is what we have. This. Next, secret number 2, identifying the problem is difficult than finding the solution. Identifying the problem is difficult than finding the solution. How many of you agree to this? Even before I share the case study, how many of you agree to this? Fantastic. I think I have a lot of matured audience. Ansila, Priya, Harsh, Pakala, Lalita. Okay. Aditya, Mukti, Hamavati, Nitin, Pooja, Sairam, Rajan, Akhil. Fantastic. Akshari, Anisha, Ansila. Okay, we have a lot of interesting names. Some of them, we had some students already with the same names. Okay, good. Mukesh, yeah. So let's look at what made a student to say this. I have discovered my X factor. I have recently cleared my CA final. With all my experience, I can make this statement. CA exam is equal to subjects plus Y factor plus X factor plus luck factor. Subjects, we all know what they are and how they are. The concepts, important topics, mark distribution within the subject. Everyone has their own Y factor in which they're inherently good at. Some may be good in making repeated number of revisions, notes, and being consistent and consistently focused. This needs no external support or assistance, but constant efforts. X factor. Himakant steps in here. We don't know what we lack or we are bad at precisely. Imagine, look at how matured it is. We don't know what we lack or what we are bad at precisely. Even if you know, we don't know how to overcome it. Even if you know somehow how to overcome it, we still ignore that or consciously choose the comfort zone and do not improve it. Mostly, this X factor alone decides our fate in the end exam, end game or the main exam. How many of you find it matured? Where he's saying that we don't know what we are lacking at. Even if we know it, we cannot improve it ourselves. Even if we find out somehow, we still don't cross the comfort zone and improve it. How many of you find it matured? How many of you find it matured? Right? This is what it is. Now I'll tell you. My wife is a doctor. She's a medical doctor. In the field of medicine, solution is cheap. Solution is cheap. You're spending your entire money on diagnosis of a problem. Let's say you go to, I'll give you a practical scenario. You'll go to a hospital. Your diagnosis is viral. Number one, you pay for consultation. They'll ask you to get a diagnosis done. You'll pay for 4 or 5 blood tests, including COVID tests or whatever. You paid 3,000. Doctor consultation 4,000, and you waited for something. So after paying 4,000, the doctor says, okay, this is typhoid. Follow 1, follow 2, follow 3. You go to a medical shop. You ask for these tablets. The bill is around 470. Solution is 470 rupees. Diagnosis is 4,000 rupees. Diagnosis is 4,000 rupees. Solution is 470. Solution is just a tablet, simple tablet, right? How many of you find this deep? Diagnosis with a solution. Diagnosis with a solution. Now, let me tell you something. Right now, you're asking for solutions. You're asking for solutions. After results, you'll find at least 1,000+ videos talking about how to clear CA in November 23. They all talk about it. Now, what are they giving you? They're giving you solution. But what is the problem here? They're giving you a solution without diagnosis. It's like a doctor is giving you a prescription without even meeting you, without even looking at your blood report. So would you dare to use that prescription? The same thing is with a YouTube strategy. Would you have the guts to use that prescription which is built without even meeting you? How can a random YouTuber make a video for 1 lakh students? Like a good YouTuber will get 1 lakh views, right? How can that strategy work for everyone? How can the strategy work for everyone? Now, if you are somebody who is missing this basic common sense, and expecting YouTube to solve your problem, Google to solve your problem, some Telegram to solve your problem. You're spoiling your own health. You're risking it. When you have a serious career issue, when this career is dependent on you clearing this exam, when this 30-year career, where your family expectations, when your hopes, most important, your long-term wealth, your marriage, everything is linked to your career, how can you treat it so cheaply? How can you expect your career to be fixed with a random YouTube video or a useless Telegram group? No, I'm not saying they are wrong. I'm saying you are wrong. How can you expect it? Tomorrow you fracture your hand. Would you join a Telegram group and check for solutions for fractured hand? Or would you start a YouTube video to see how you can fix your fractured hand? What would you do? You'll go to an expert. When you go to an expert, would you go to the best doctor or the cheapest doctor? Would you go to a doctor who gives you discount or who gives you a free tablet or something? Now, how would you treat a physical injury? How are you treating your career injury? Now, there are certain people who treat it differently, who pay the ultimate attention. Today, who has come, he's a chartered accountant. He's a major, I would say he's one of the most popular chartered accountants in South India. He was a branch chairman of one of the biggest branches in South India. Now, that person took his son, came to our home, driving all the way from a different state. That is where I realized these people, with the slightest thing, with the slightest failure, when something happens, he realized it immediately. Okay, my son's career is something, it's out of the track. I need to fix it. I need to fix it. So he took that chance. He would not see, nobody can know whether we'll solve it or not and all of that, right? He took that chance. So the people who are already qualified, who are already wealthy, who are already having all the resources, who need not clear CA, are paying a lot of attention to this. People where the son or the daughter will be the first chartered accountant in the community and the family, where clearing CA is so important that the family will be choked financially if they're not clearing CA. They're taking it casually. They're taking it lethargically. They're taking it normally. They're normalizing failure. How can you normalize failure? No, I'm not saying failure is bad. I'm saying normalizing failure is bad. You got 160, you got 170, you got 170. What the heck? How can you get stuck for 3 attempts? Now, this is the problem. You cannot identify a problem, or you cannot identify someone who can identify a problem. That's a serious problem. You need not solve the problem. You have to identify someone who can solve the problem for you. That is the serious problem. And for you, I'm telling you one thing in life. If you have to listen to someone, it is always free. Any expert. You can listen to the best of the faculties in India, or you can listen to the best of the speakers in the world. Tony Robbins charges lakhs for his workshop, but you can listen to him on YouTube for free. You can listen to Sadhguru for free. The problem is, if you want the expert to listen to you, if you want Sadhguru to listen to you, if you want Robin Sharma to listen to you, if you want the faculty to listen to you, if you want the mentor to listen to you, if you want a doctor to listen to you, that is costly. If somebody has to listen to you in life, that is freaking costly. If you have to listen to someone, that is free. But people think the other way around. Now, that is the reason why you're not able to. That is the reason why you're not able to find out your problem. First, pay enough attention on understanding what is going wrong. Lack of motivation is a bullshit problem. Motivation is useless without fixing the other aspects. Let's say do not study anything. You are over motivated. No, that's what has happened last time, right? That's what happens every time. Nothing wrong with your motivation, but nothing right about it. You need conceptual clarity. You need a proper understanding of what exactly ICA is expecting you to do. Now, this particular paragraph is going to change lives of a lot of you. I know I'm harsh. I'm hitting you hard. I know some of you is not able to, accept it the way it is, but I'm respecting you as a future CA, as a future chartered accountant. This is what it is. Tomorrow, when you audit a company, you don't jump into solutions. You diagnose, you dig deep, you identify the problem. You don't suggest them internal financial controls without understanding what are the control gaps, what are the control deficiencies. First, identify the diagnosis of the problem and then solve everything. Tomorrow, a client comes to you for advice, anything. First, diagnose the problem. Problem first. Problem is a solution. Now, this is what he's talking about. So this is where, we need people to spend good time with us. In a workshop, I cannot solve your problem because I cannot diagnose it. There are too many people. We have too less time. We have something to complete. That is the reason why workshops are necessary but not sufficient. But when you come to mentorship, what happens? Like from morning 5 o'clock to 10 p.m. Like you're literally with us, right? 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. Everything you are doing we're tracking it 24/7, and we're extremely passionate about it. I like problem solving. If I had to define myself in one word, I'm a problem solver. This is what I have been doing throughout my life for various categories of people, whether it's my business clients, whether it's for my coaching clients, whether it's my CA students, whether it's my external students, I keep solving problems. I'm a life coach as well. Now, this is what we do. So if you're really particular, about getting your problem diagnosed, and if you really understand that once your problem is diagnosed, the solution is simple. Like once you know it is whether malaria, whether it is typhoid, whether whatever it is, once you understand, you identify the problem, it is easy to find the solution. If you agree to this, please type I agree to this completely. I would say if there is one takeaway from the session, the last 3 to 4 minutes which we discussed, if you understand this, that's it. Your life will change. You'll never ever fail anything. You'll never ever get stuck. Perfect. Now he talks about how Himalaya School has helped me out of the above. Subject clarity, I got more clarity in the trend and marks distribution of the subjects and the best way to get hold of them. I was good at planning, but not at implementation, as I made timetables, not followed them. So I learned to master implementation as good as planning. X factor discovery, sir, having seen, monitored, interacted, and helped many people in this specific CA domain, has helped me clearly identify my X factor and helped me to get a grip on it. So this is what he's talking about. Sir, having seen, monitored, interacted, and helped me and helped people and many students in the specific CA domain, has helped me clearly identify my X factor. Now, this is what it is. It is not because of me. It is not. Yes, you can get it, Sneha. Like that is what we do. That is what we do. Everyone get a personalized solution. That is what we do. So you need to understand. I'll give an option. Like we'll discuss this at how we can get your personal solutions resolved and how we can get into mentorship. I'll give an option at the end. But let me complete the case studies so that you will get the clarity, and then I'll give an option. Don't worry about it. So we're talking about how I'm able to do it, because I see lots of people day in, day again. I see lots of people. I create patterns for you. You are the only problem. What does a doctor do? He looks at trends. When COVID happens, you look at symptoms. Okay, symptom 1, symptom 2. My wife is a doctor. My father-in-law is also a doctor. How would they know if somebody has got COVID or not? So they look at patient number 1, patient number 2, patient number 3. These are the symptoms. That is how World Health Work comes and says that these are the symptoms. This is the added symptom. This is the new strain of virus, right? It is all about big data. It is all about gathering data in the right domain. Now, somebody who does not have access to this kind of data, somebody who sells classes, would never get this access to this kind of data, because they are doing some other thing. They're doing their duty. They're doing a good job. That is fine. But if you're failing, see, if you're not failing, if you're clearing after coaching, the discussion won't happen. If you're clearing after coaching, that's it. Fantastic. Nothing like that. Why should we even discuss about it? When you're failing completely, even after coaching, you should understand that that is not working. You need something more. That is what I'm trying to tell you. So for you, if you're listening to me right now, if you're listening to me right now at 8-7 p.m., it means that the existing coaching is not working for you. You need something more. I'm not saying mentorship is needed for everyone. I'm saying if that is not sufficient, if you're not able to solve your problem, what will happen if you lose one more attempt, what will happen? Why are you completely collapsing your confidence before you come out of CA? Clearing CA is one thing. You're destroying your confidence. You're destroying your public image. Like, it is important to clear it at a particular point of time. Now, that is what we're discussing. You need to find a solution once you understand that there's a problem, and for that, find someone who can diagnose the problem. And this is exactly what has given us, the authority or the capability or the experience or the expertise to find it. Okay, so this is what it is. So the most important thing is you need to identify the problem. So only when you identify the problem, you'll find the solution. Next, this is ultra powerful. This will change your, or this will remove your inhibitions about memory. Remembering is not normal. Forgetting is. Remembering is not normal. Forgetting is. How many of you find this to be a bulb on moment? If you think it is a bulb on moment, please type bulb on. Remembering is not normal. Forgetting is. Perfect. Now, when people say, I have a bad memory, that's a wrong statement. Memory is bad. Memory is meant to be bad because you learn or you get so many things. It has to keep refreshing every single day. It's like you're disappearing WhatsApp status in 24 hours. That's a good idea, right? Why do you have to accumulate everything? Your memory by default, how would it know? For example, in your mind, how would it know what is very important? You learned this lesson, you learned this lesson, you learned multiple hangs. How would it distinguish between what's important or what's not important at a granular level? So it has a very temporary memory. Unless you specifically say that this is important, this has to stay, this has to live with us, this has to stay in my brain for a longer period of time. You have to attach a sticky note and send that information within. Only then it will remember. Otherwise, you'll forget. The tendency is to forget. Harvard Business Review clearly says more than 50% of what you study, you'll forget within 24 hours. Harvard Business Review is saying it. Within 1 week, you'll forget 75%. This is all scientific case studies. It is not about you. It is not about you. It is Ansila would not have a bad memory. Anugraha does not have a bad memory. Anubham does not have a bad memory. Vineshwari does not have a bad memory. Sneha does not have a bad memory. Chirag does not have a bad memory. Harsh does not have a bad memory. Memory is bad. This is what it is. Now, what are we doing about it? Let's see. Well, the experience of Super 36 has been magical. I say so because it solved the problem which we usually face to write, remembering a particular stuff. So this is a common and usual problem with everyone. This is a very, very common and usual problem with everyone. Now, Super 36 helped me in the following ways. Number one, 5-time revision technique, which is my personal favorite as it helps in subjects like audit, law, and SCMP. This is like, we call it a critical success factor. One thing which solves everything. For him, he mentioned it here. He once again wrote full-time revision, a 5-time revision technique, and he once again mentioned in brackets, unless it has helped him so much, looking at how connected he is, because he had this problem of forgetting things. Now, when we magically disappear it from his life, where he is able to remember things, look at his face, look at his family, like how proud he is, right? So one simple technique, if it solves, it's like somebody's stuck with a heavy migraine for years and years. Then they meet the right doctor, the good doctor, the passionate doctor. He gives them one pill. The headache is gone. How happy he feels, how relieved he feels. This is what he's talking about. Trying out many things is so frustrating. Talking about all random techniques, cluttered with techniques. None of them works. One powerful technique is all you need. That is what we're talking about. Focus block slots. We started with this. Are you able to study for 1 hour with complete focus? That is what it is. Once again, you're saying ability to retain content for longer period. Ability to retain content for a longer period is stuck to the revision part. Like in the 4 points, he spoke about it 3 times. That is how painful it is. That is how painful it is to study something. And by the time you go to the exam, you're forgetting. It's like carrying ice in your hands. Now, you built an ice block. That is your subject. You're trying to show it to ICA. By the time you're running it and showing it to ICA, it is melting. Now you're coming back. You're carrying one more ice block. You're running hard, trying to protect. By the time the examiner is saying there is no ice, it is melted. That is your memory. How many of you find this analogy relevant? How many of you find this relevant? If this is happening, where you're studying hard, where you're putting a decent amount of efforts, but in the main exam, you're not able to remember. You're not able to remember. Sudarshan will reach out to you after the session. Okay. I just saw your message. We'll reach out to you. So all your personal queries will reach out to you. Next, claims of sir that this would be the last investment and exam of your life for CA final is what derived me to join this. It proved to be true as I am CA Rajdeep Nag. A fantastic experience which I can recollect. Like we are doing a same workshop, like after the exam, we are doing almost same day, like 3rd or 4th day after the results, something similar. I was doing this workshop, and a lot of people were asking, like, they like the concept, they wanted to join. Some people immediately joined, and some people are joining, and all of that happening. He said, "Sir, I have a question." I was like, "Okay, go ahead." "Sir, I have already invested so much in my coaching." He was very clear and frank. "Sir, I have already invested so much in my coaching. I have already written multiple attempts. Now, how can I take one more step? Or how can I ask money from my parents one more time?" I told him one thing. Razdeep, investing, when you're investing into something, when you're building an asset, some investments go right, some investments will drain as an expense. You don't know what it is. If you know already, you'd pay anything. For example, if somebody says that you'll 100% clear CA if you go through this coaching, you'll pay even 1 lakh or 2 lakhs or 10 lakhs, because you don't want to waste time, because you want to invest in certainty. That is the reason why we invest in brands. Why are people paying for Apple for 1.7 lakhs while you can get the same feature phone for 17,000? Because that is stability. Apple says what it is, it offers what it is, it delivers what it is. So certain class of people want that consistency, not that what do you call it, gamble. It may or may not work, all that motivation stuff. No. So they want to invest in certainty. So I told him very clear, I don't know about what has happened, Rajdeep. Since you already put in so much time, since you are almost 60% done with your CA journey, including clearing foundation, clearing inter, clearing final, if you commit to me, all I need from you is, if you commit to me for the next 100 days, I'll ensure this becomes your last investment. You don't have to pay for anything. Once you're inside the mentorship, no need for any coaching, no need for any test series. This is the last investment, and this is the last exam. This is the last final exam. I don't know how many attempts you have written. This is the last exam, is what I have mentioned on that workshop openly. Recorded session, I mentioned it to Rajdeep openly, provided you follow, just like Pavani said, right? Provided you follow the techniques, provided you implement the techniques and follow the process. Now that day he said, "Sir, I'm trusting you. It's hard for me, but I'm trusting you. I'm taking a leap of faith." And he joined immediately. And it is very nice of him for him to remember that. It is very nice of him for him to remember that. And he mentioned it, right? This is what it is. This is what the impact of trust. See, it is not my greatness to promise him that. It is his ability. It is his greatness to trust someone. When you're failing, it is very difficult for you to trust one more person. When you're low, your comfort zone would not allow you to trust one more. It will constantly keep saying that, okay, you're destined not to clear CA, or probably you'll write one group, or probably you'll do something. So it will force you to take a lesser decision so that you don't take mental load. Your mind will trick you into believing that you cannot clear because it doesn't want to take extra mental load. Let's say start believing that you'll clear. If you start joining the mentorship, what will happen? You'll have to study. Now, your mind is smart enough. It doesn't want load. It holds you back. It creates unnecessary confusion. It creates unnecessary trust issues. Now, for somebody to trust and take that step, that is why Rajdeep is here, Rajdeep today. Like, fantastic. He got placed into an absolutely good job. He got shortlisted for 4 or 5 companies. We were I was working on the interview process as well. He was extremely happy, and we kind of stay in touch and all of that. So this is what is going to happen. This is what is going to happen. Now, for all those who have been continuously pinging me that I want to get a personal solution, I want to join join for the mentorship and all. Now I'm telling you the same thing. If I commit to you that this is the last investment of your life in terms of money, whatever you're investing for the mentorship, if this is the last investment of your life, and if November 23 is the last exam of your life, for example, if you're writing both the groups, last attempt. If you're writing one group, last attempt for that group. Okay, if this is my commitment, provided you do what we teach you for the next 100 days. Simple. The process is simple but not easy. It is simple, right? If I give you this commitment, how many of you are willing to give your commitment? I'm giving my commitment. I'm committing you that if you give me 100 days, I'll give you your qualification. Now, if my commitment is given to you, how many of you are willing to give your commitment? Full commitment, 100% commitment for 100 days. I want you to type this: 100% commitment, 100%, not even 99%. 99% is fail. 199 is fail. 100% commitment for 100 days. 100% commitment for 100 days. For 100 days. Fantastic, guys. Fantastic. Harsh, Mukti, great. Sneha, Samantha, Anisha, Jitin, Akhil, Lalita, Sairam. Wonderful. Wonderful. Priya, Pooja, and all those who are still typing, right? This is what is going to happen. So what I'll do now is, the session is still a long way to go. We still have to do. I'll quickly give an option for those who are already ready. Let's say when you're already ready, I don't want to kill your enthusiasm. I'll give you an option. You can get started. Within 30 minutes of registration, you'll get the onboarding mail. Matlab, this is how fast we act. We don't drag things. The moment you join, within 30 minutes, you'll get the first onboarding mail. You'll get access to the app. You'll get your first forms to fill. You'll get the first introspection. You'll get the targets also. From tomorrow, when you wake up, you'll wake up with a wake-up call. And most importantly, you are locking yourself to clear in this attempt. When you're committing yourself to someone external, the accountability is sorted and you're outsourcing all your issues. That's it. Now, when you do this, the kind of mental relaxation you get is unimaginable right away. Not even, you don't have to wait for the exam because you're stuck. You don't have a solution. You only have a problem now. You don't have a solution for what is happening, what needs to do. You don't even know what the problem is, right? So what happens is, the first thing, the biggest advantage is when you're joining an ecosystem, it's like going to a temple. It's like going, we build that culture. We build that culture consciously. Why would we start with namaskar and stuff, hey, hello, and randomly, right? We build that culture. So that positivity, and I owe it to all my super students. I'm lucky to get those students. Great mentors are created by great students, not the other way around. I believe in that. So I'm lucky to have that kind of students. And those students are coming back as mentors once again. This attempt, you'll see for every subject, you'll have a subject mentor also apart from what I'm doing. So we're going things crazily. So if you are willing to give me that commitment, if this is willing to give me that commitment, let's proceed forward. Okay. Shall I take this opportunity to present what we have in Super 36 quickly and invite you to join it in the next 15-20 minutes, those who are interested? If you give me permission, I'll proceed forward. If you give me permission, I'll proceed forward. Please type proceed. Then we'll continue with the session once again. Fantastic, guys. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for your acceptance. Thank you for giving me the permission. Perfect. I'm absolutely happy to see the level of commitment. Like, it's not about what has happened. I'm excited about what is going to happen. I'm absolutely excited about what is going to happen with this kind of commitment at right now. So fantastic. You give me energy, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So let me show you that. We'll get started. Now, before I proceed forward, I have some good news and I have some bad news. What should I share first? I have good news and bad news. What do you want to know first? Okay, most of them want bad news first. Bad news first. The bad news is we only have 3 slots which we are taking today. Now, as you can see, we have to be responsible for different type of students. A lot of people are filling forms, like somebody trusted doesn't fill the very lengthy form and mentorship eligibility test. And we get some referrals from our existing CAs. Like, there are some obligations because of the fraternity, like very top level CAs, we get recommendations. And apart from this, we have multiple workshops. Now, in each workshop, I can only have a maximum number. So for today, depending on the admissions which have already happened, depending on the session which we're having on Monday, depending on how we have to adjust our study buddies, we have only 3 slots. So we are going to take only 3 admissions. I cannot guarantee you an admission, but I can guarantee you that I'm giving the same open access. I'm giving the same open access. So I'll get a payment link in the next 15 minutes. If you're ready If you're ready, it will be easier for you. So I cannot change the circumstances. Let's say you're not ready, you want to ask your parents, I cannot do anything. I'll share the payment to each and every one of you at the same time. So you have exactly 15 minutes to do it, because we don't want to drag it. If you're ready, if you're willing, let's proceed forward. Otherwise, that's okay. That is how we want. We want somebody who are committed. Let's say tomorrow I share a technique. I want the technique to be implemented with the same level of trust in the next 15 minutes. So tomorrow I ask you to write a test, sudden surprise test. We do this. I want you to write a test. You have to write a test. So this is the kind of trust which we want. If you want to test us, don't test us. Don't trust us. That's okay. So this is the kind of students I want. And before I share you the actual program, I'll tell you the backend, like how we built it and what exactly are our expectations, so that we can have the right set of students. Okay. So I'm just sharing you this. Please let me know if you're able to see this. Please let me know if you're able to see the. Is it visible for you, all of you? You can parallelly start working on a payment options also. And now I'll tell you the ideology behind building this, then we'll go forward. Right. Now, Super Student Pro is a professional mentorship one-to-one. Like today, what I'm going to offer you is not pro, but since we have given the ideology very clearly in this slide, I'm just sharing with you, since you'll understand it in a better manner. So one is it's result oriented, it's personalized, it's premium. We call it gold standard mentorship, which will help you to clear CA exams in one attempt or 1 year. Now, why do we call it a gold standard mentorship? Because the important factor is personalization. In YouTube, one video is supposed to solve the problems of 1 lakh people. In a coaching session, sell it to at least 10,000 students. So when you're trying to build something for 10,000 people, it's generally vague. You're understanding? Let's say this is the difference between a customized tailor-fit suit versus you buying something ready-made. If you want a good fit, you have to wear it, right? Like women understand, if you want a good fit clothing, you'll have to go and stitch it, right? So this is what it is. Live classes, there are at least 300 people, even online, offline. Now pro is pure one-to-one. Pro is one-to-one. Imagine we are bringing the ratio of 1 chartered accountant to 1 lakh to 1. So never ever in history of CA, this has been done. Everybody talk about personalization, but nobody does it. We are the only ones who does it in this format for pro. Right. Next, this is once again aligned to our career path, how to clear CA in 1 attempt and how to start earning 1 lakh per month and how exactly can you create a path to 10 crore network. Why do we call it gold standard? Number 1, high value addition. Number 2, simple and efficient execution. Number 3, proven results. Number 4, esteem recognition. Now, what exactly is the concept of high value addition? Satisfaction of self and proud achievement for parents. Now, why are we talking about satisfaction of self? Because irrespective of whatever you achieve, without clearing CA, whatever you achieve, your soul will be restless. We have seen a lot of people who are they're making more money than chartered accountants. I've met people who have chartered accountants as their employees, but still they're not satisfied because they did not clear their examination. And it becomes a very, very proud achievement for their parents. You need to understand that once you do something academically, professionally, that is what your parents like it, not because the kind of car you buy or house you buy. This is what matters for them. Next, it will lead to an all-round development in personality, as you can see in the case studies, elevation in professional social status, and 2x to 3x growth immediately in your annual income. So this is the value addition. In terms of income, you'll start making 1 lakh per month or 10 lakhs per year. And most importantly, the opportunity cost of not becoming a chartered accountant. If you're not becoming a chartered accountant in a lifetime, you lose 16 crores. We did a calculation of a income of a semi-qualified CA versus qualified CA across a period of 30 years. The difference in opportunity cost is more than 16 crore. Forget about 16 crore, make it 10 crore. So just by falling short of 30 to 40 marks, you'll end up losing 10 crore, which is not appropriate. So you should do anything in your capacity and everything in your capacity to make sure you get this qualification. This is about high values. Next, simple and efficient execution. We follow the principle of simplicity, which is automatically efficient. Now, what exactly is this? So the preparation strategy which we talk about is customized according to your life situation, not motivation. Let's say a working professional comes, I'm motivated, I'll study 20 hours. Bullshit. When you have only 4 hours, what will you study for 20 hours? So the life situation, you are a young mother, you are a working professional, or you have something to manage, you have to take care of your parents, something is there. Let's prepare only for that time. Let's prolong the preparation in two attempts. Why would you like to over motivate yourself doing nothing, knowing that it won't be sustained for 1 week or 10 days when you have to do something for a period of 3 to 4 months? So we customize the strategy according to your life situation, not to your motivation. Precise and personalized daily targets, weekly reviews, and monthly milestones, easy to implement targets, easy to implement with complete implementation support. Next, proven results. Now, as you can see, you were able to see a lot of struggling students with repeated failures and multiple attempts. Struggling students with repeated failures and multiple attempts were also able to clear in one attempt. Repeated failures and multiple attempts were able to clear in one attempt, which means that it is applicable to you. Like, that is your problem, right? Can I still clear? Yes, you can, because it is happening. During mentorship, we're able to solve their psychological issues also. Let's say somebody has some personal issues, somebody has some psychological issues, somebody is not doing well. We are able to solve those issues also. And different categories and a wide range of issues were able to be solved. Not just only preparation, not just only revision, different categories, different things, personal issues, marriage issue, health issue, we're able to solve a lot of, because we have a life coaching system. Like this is the only thing in India, like Him Life School. It's not just about super student. Our mother company is a life school. So we kind of handle the psychological aspects also. That is our core strength. Finally, trust and recognition. Our frameworks, blueprints, and study techniques are recognized by the Government of India, and we got copyrights for intellectual work. We can proudly say that. Most of the modern mentors are our students. Like whoever has come in the last 1 year, 2 years, we have been doing this in the last 4 years, and we are the only one to do mentorship in this style. Sending certain things artificially is not mentorship. It involves a level of personalization, customization, interaction with the student. And most importantly, we are the only entity in entire India where a student can talk to each other. Our students know each other, they talk to each other. So this is what we have made it possible. And the systems and process are ISO 901-2000 certified. We are trusted and recommended by High Court judges, senior Big Four partners, and highly successful chartered accountants. Yes, I'm talking about all of this category of people who are sending their children to us instead of reputed coaching centers. Even after knowing that we don't have coaching, they're still sending to us. Next, you can experience a 360-degree transformation. Peaceful mind, productive routine, clarity of thought, confident attitude, right decisions, faster execution, strict implementation, sharp memory, better presentation. Clearing is one thing, but this is the biggest value addition. You'll become a different person altogether. I'll be insulted if you experience 8 out of 9. I want all 9 out of 9 to be experienced by you. All 9 out of 9. 360-degree transformation is what we believe in. Once you transform yourself, you'll automatically clear CA. Let's say your mind is peaceful. Let's say your routine is productive. Let's say you're clear in your thought. You're confident about your approach. You're taking the right decisions at the right time, and you're executing things faster, and you're implementing things, not just leaving at ideological level. Your memory has become sharper, and you're able to present things better. From this point, it is impossible to clear. It is impossible to fail. In fact, you need to understand, you becoming a different person, you're becoming a better person automatically will help you to clear this exam without doing anything. Okay, this is a 360-degree transformation. This is the secret hack. We focus on the student, not on the coaching or not on something else. Once we improve you, you are going to be a chartered accountant, not your books or not your videos, right? We focus on you, the critical success factor. So you become CA, right? That is what the focus is here. Core benefits: strategy and schedule, planning, guidance, implementation, support, improvement, intervention, assignments, course access, one-to-one calls with mentor, accountability sessions, live session, daily targets, recorded module, and all this. Like, we looked at mindset, routine, syllabus, effective revision, and exam presentation. You'll get modules for all of this, including live sessions also, weekly hackathon, monthly marathon, community access, super students summit, study buddy, access to platform, real-time tracker, peer-to-peer interaction, group assignments, career counseling, pro power mids. So all of this you are going to get. And then who are eligible to join Pro? Once again, I'm talking about Pro. I'm talking about Pro is 1-to-1. This is not what I'm offering right now. What you are getting offered is Super 30, that's different. But I'm giving you this because you'll understand the back-end architecture of how we build this. So for Pro, it is compulsory that your parent, spouse, or sibling should be a qualified CA. It is compulsory. Or you should be a working professional, or you should at least get a reference from the existing student. Now, why did we do this? Pro is a premium mentorship, which is 1-to-1. Now, somebody who does not understand the value of time, who does not understand the value of losing their attempt, who does not understand the value of an expert with experience of 10+ years, spending time with you individually on a weekly basis, where he could do the same thing with 1,000+ students while he's doing it 1-to-1, his time has to be respected. So people who already have a qualification, who already are working, knows the time value of time, They know the money value of time. They know the opportunity cost of time. Now, that is not clearly visible in certain students who overvalue time and undervalue, or who overvalue money and undervalue time. So I'm not here to convince them. So you want to work with a certain class of people who already know the importance of clearing exams in one attempt. They come with a sense of determination. They respect everything we say. That is the reason why we have set up these conditions. Now, if you think these conditions are fair enough, please type fair enough, because we don't want to discriminate. We don't want to do something. But the reason why we have set these conditions is it works mutually well, right? If you're not able to trust us, you won't be able to implement things. So if you think these conditions are fair enough, please type fair enough. Thank you for the responses. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now let's look at the other perspective. What exactly are we looking at? What are the kind of super student expectations from us? Number one, clearing CA should be the most important thing. Clearing CA should be the most important thing in your life. Clearing CA, that's it, nothing else. Clearing CA. Next, time should be more valuable than your money in your life. When you're taking a decision, let's say if you're constantly worried about money and you're not worried about time, then probably you're not the right fit. Then you don't know, you don't have an opportunity cost. You are not thinking like a professional. You're still thinking like a student out of that crisis mindset. Now we want somebody to think in a professional manner where, okay, I'm a professional. This is my opportunity cost. This is my early cost. This is how I have to utilize my time. Otherwise, what you'll do is you'll do penny wise and pound foolish. You, by trying to save a few hundred rupees and 1,000 rupees, you'll end up wasting lakhs by letting lose your attempt. So that mentality would not work with us. Time should be more valuable in your than money in your life. You should have an opportunity cost of not clearing. You should clearly understand that. You should have an opportunity cost of not clearing, and you should be very, very aware that cheap and best are two different things. Comparing a best thing with something cheap. Cheap is different, best is different. Somebody wants to create a cheap product. Like let's say Chinese want to create a cheap product. Japanese want to create a best product. They're neighbors. But the point is they want to do this, they want to do this. That's very different, right? Japan is meant for quality. China is meant for price. Now, what is it? Do you want the best or do you want the cheapest? That is what you have to do. When it comes to health, when it comes to career, just like when you want to go to a best liver doctor, you should go to a best career mentor. Like liver doctor, career mentor, they're very instrumental for your life. So that kind of mature people is what we expect. Your ability to trust and action taking mentality. Learning everything, listening everything, and not implementing anything is not what we want. We want you to take action. You need to take that leap of faith and you have to take action. So keep thinking if you have these qualities. Let's see how many of you have it here as we proceed forward. And before you apply, so this is something very important. If this is your existing capacity, if this is idle capacity, you need to understand this cannot become this. Even after changing the SIM card, memory card, or whatever it is, it takes a complete different capacity building. So you need to understand ICA is expecting you to behave like iPhone. So with my phone capability, you cannot become iPhone. So you need to understand it requires a complete capacity building. So when you look at a complete capacity building, that is when you need to give good amount of time. Like why are we asking 100 times? Because to improve the capacity and you need to meet the expectations of ICA. That is what it is. And this is the copyright agreement which I'm talking about. Like we got a certificate from the government of India, the one and only mentorship in India for any exam, not just this CA, CMA, CS, CPA, CMA, NEET, JEE, UPSC. We are the only mentorship in entire India to get a copyright and the blueprint for this. And these are techniques. I was talking about improvement, right? These are the techniques which will explain very deeply. As you can see, we got a copyright office. We also have a registration number so that our copycats, competitors would not copy. Now let them copy. We'll see the end of them. So earlier they used to copy blindly. Now we have the certificate. It's like our Sri Ram Raksha. Next, I closely work with ICI at convocation level. Closely work them. I try to understand why certain students are clearing. If you can recognize this gentleman, he is a current president of ICI. He's a past president of ICI. I always try to understand from them directly, sir, what exactly is ICI expecting? What is the new expectation? What exactly is the latest vision? What exactly are students expected to? What else should we do? So fundamentally, I try to understand the expectations of ICI so that I train my students accordingly. I come back and share it with all students over mail, YouTube, whatever format I have. I want to make sure you and ICI are in the same line. So this is what I do at Ahem. And my own student, like imagine you meeting your own student along with your family at the convocation, right? How many of you want to meet me like this? If you want, how many of you want to meet me like this? Please type me. Please type me. Perfect. 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 Thank you, guys. So with this backdrop, we decided to transform 10,000 plus semi-qualified CS. We started here, and once again, we landed here. So this is the reason why we are doing it. And we hope, and I truly believe that you're becoming a part of this. And, Nishikeet, once again. So these are most biggest moments for me when I resigned EY. When a lot of my my family members and my advisors said that it's a wrong decision. Why are you doing? And people they used to say that why are you trusting failures? They already failed. They're not serious. They cannot clear. First attempt students at least are more reliable. So I still get this. I don't know. I trust them. I believe them. Even if they don't believe them, I believe them. This is what it is. I believe them. I'm seeing results, and they're not disappointing me. And they are going strides and strides ahead, and they're making phenomenal progress even after clearing. Most of them are hitting 15 lakh packages, 20 lakh packages, and it is all going to a different level altogether. So this is where we landed. And before we finally open up these 3 slots, I just want to solve some FAQs. One, I have not done my coaching yet. That's okay. We discussed about coaching. 90% of students would not have completed coaching while they're joining us. We'll integrate coaching with mentorship. So it's absolutely fine if you're not done your coaching yet. Second, I'm not sure about my consistency. That is totally fine. If you're very consistent, you would not need us, right? You're not consistent. That is the reason why you're coming to us. We are goddamn good at helping you build your mindset and routine. Like consistency, it happens like this. Next, how can I manage my work along with studies? Very simple. You're not managing. While you're working, you're working. While you're studying, you're studying. End of story. Let's say you're a full-time student or you're a full-time working professional. 9 to 7, you're working. Fair enough. Let's study from 6 to 9 a.m. and 1 hour or half an hour at the end. And you also get a support from the full-time students who will explain what they've studied during the day. You'll get a lot of summary notes. So we have a lot of working professionals also this time. So they're using the full-time students to learn from them. For full-time students, the advantage is when they're explaining to these working professionals, they're asking the right questions. And for them, it's how many of you realize that explaining is the best way to remember something? Explanation is the best way to remember something. How many of you realize this? How many of you realize this? This is how we are leveraging the connect between those 2 categories of people, right? Next, will strategy and schedule really be customized? Of course. Otherwise, it's not a schedule. Timetable is not a template. It has to be customized. It will be customized for everyone through a process. What if this doesn't work for me? Now, this is where I said, a lot of people always talk about it, right? Now, what if this doesn't work for me? Now, my question is, what if it works for you? Can you risk failing one more attempt? Let's say in the previous session, there was one student who opened up. Sir, I'm really sorry. I attended a workshop in the previous attempt itself. I almost trusted you, but somehow I did not take a decision. I failed in the attempt miserably. Now it hit my confidence. Now I just joined the workshop. Now he was regretting it because of this one decision. It's not like he did not have any other question, but the whole point is he was just thinking, well, it's a casual thought. As I said, default decision making would not make you trust you. This is what happens. You always think this does not work. You always think this does not happen because your mind will stick to default. You're failed, it will stick to default. So only few smart students will be able to understand, okay, what if it works for me? What if I clear CA? What if I become a chartered accountant by January? How about my life? How about my family? Like that is what excites them. Right? That is exactly how people think. But I want you to respect your internal thoughts also. That is the reason why I'm sharing what you think internally. I can also make plans, but cannot execute. I would say planning is useless. 1% planning, 99% execution. Students do it the other way around. If you watch that complete video, that is what you have to realize, right? 1% planning and 99% execution is what is read. So plans are useless. You don't have to do anything. You only have to focus on execution, which will make you do. Next, there are cheaper alternatives in the market. Of course. Now, I would say somebody will. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you how interesting it is. Now you're not able to clear this exam after 2-3 attempts. Each attempt, the opportunity cost is 4 to 5 lakhs. 1 year, your opportunity cost is 10 lakhs. 1.5 years, it's 15 lakhs. You're struggling hard to clear a 15 lakh problem, right? It's a 15 lakh problem. It's an opportunity cost problem. And for coaching itself, you have spent around 1 lakh, or each subject itself, you are spending 10,000 to 12,000. None of them worked. Even after spending 300 hours or 200 hours or spending multiple times of coaching, none of them worked. If suddenly somebody comes and says that I'll help you clear in 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 8,000, how would you trust? It's like an open heart surgeon comes into the market and says that I'll do an open heart surgery for 10,000 or 15,000, would you trust him? Now, this is the kind of maturity you should have. Some people get attracted, like some people get attracted. That is not the problem. Whatever claim people make, some people get attracted. Now, these are the kind of people, people say that 24% interest rate. Now, when the bank rate is 6%, if that something is so, promising that it is not realistic, how can somebody help you for less than 1,000 rupees or 2,000 per month when LKG students are getting charged? You do it. Would you do the same? Would you take somebody's personal responsibility for 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees per month to clear their exam at inter foundation level? When you think about it, that will answer your question, right? We don't care about what is cheap. We are building the way that this is the best possible opportunity for any student to clear, irrespective of the background. We want to build the best, because people come now the people would say 1,000 rupees, or somebody will say, I'll help you clear, I'll give you money in turn like a politician. So we cannot get into all of that. So this is for those mature people who are looking for the best. And I'm telling you this as a chartered accountant, never aim to be the cheapest. Somebody is filing a return at 300 rupees. You don't compete at 250. You make your price 5,000. You tell them why. If you see the current refund scandal, you'll get caught in that. Now, when somebody is charging only 300, they should get a commission on refund. They don't have that option but to get a commission on the refund, and then they lock themselves. So this is why you have to choose the best. That is what my mentor told me. Don't be cheap in your journey to greatness. Don't be cheap in your journey to greatness. I truly follow it. And those who want to follow it, my answer is there. I have joined some other mentorship, but did not work. This is what I said. With due humility, with due respect to everyone out there, we are the only mentorship in India. People don't understand mentorship. It's a fancy word, right? Teacher, faculty, speaker, mentorship. You can write that word. What is the kind of effort? Now, forget about this workshop. Watch any 10 minutes of content which you can find anywhere. Even a random YouTube video which is live streamed, which is not meant for the YouTube. Watch any 10 minutes of content and compare this content with the best content of any faculty or any mentor which you choose. If you think you have a better option, please go. Please go. Don't compromise. I'm not asking you to come. So that is how I built it hands-on. Cleared CA at 21 years. Got a rank in CWA, almost cleared CS. I just left 1 or 2 modules because it did not made sense. Sat for civil services, cracked it till mains, mentored civil service people, worked with EY, worked with 3 to 4 MNCs, built this startup hands-on, observed 10,000 plus people, did 10,000 plus hours of research. Tell me one chartered accountant who can beat it. Nobody can ever come closer, at least in terms of efforts. So that is why probably did not work. Now this is the only mentorship. So I don't want to compare it or say anything, but this is different. This is pure mentorship. I don't know what you have joined. And finally, I'm from old syllabus, whatever syllabus it is, we have only one syllabus which is relevant for you. So this is exactly why you have to take a decision. And can I have some time to think and decide about it? So this is what I'm talking about, action taking. Now, what is there to decide? What is there to think? Forever, say, for example, if you're making this decision to think about a book, the reason why you're not able to close, any book would be fine. Like why the book option is still open? Why the faculty option is still open? Why the single group has both groups option are open? You're keeping loops open. Nothing will happen. There's nothing to think. There's nothing to understand further. You experience something. You trust your gut. Something is saying. If it's no, let it be no. Like, don't try to make no yes. If it's yes, make it yes. That's it. That's what I'm saying. Open challenge. If it's yes, go for it. If it's no, leave it. That's it. Now, what is there to think? So you need to understand and respect it. Tomorrow, when you are choosing the exam, question number 1, question number 2, question number 3, you have to go with whatever your mind is saying. You have to build that balance, and then you have to take a decision making accordingly. That is how you have to do it. So we respect you, believe you. I also want you to believe and respect what you're going through internally. And finally, I like the program, but I feel it is expensive. Now, this is common. One more objection. When you look at it like an expense, it is expensive. When you look at it as an asset, it's not expensive. Let's say it's a career block. Nobody calls MBA an expense. In ISB, you have to pay 40 lakhs. Nobody calls 40 lakhs an expense. My friend who has cleared CA, a middle class individual, borrowed money, paid 40 lakhs. In the next 2 months or 2 years, he recorded 40 lakhs. And he started making 40 lakhs forever. Now that is smart. That is invested. This is also like that. You invest X amount, you'll start recovering it in less than a month. That is what it is. Otherwise, if you look at an expense, you'll never understand what is investment, what is expense. I'm telling you, this is a best ever investment in terms of value. Probably it will give you more value than a site. Let's say land will give you the highest return on investment. My students have said that the return on investment from which we have got it is higher than land, which is real estate is the highest return on investment. I would proudly say that mentorship is giving the highest return on investment. Okay. So this is the background with which we are going forward. Now, with this additional information, with this additional information, if you are far more clear and with your far more geared up to get started right away, please type ready for Super 36. I'm talking about certain section of people who are ready for Super 36. Please type ready for Super 36 if everything is clear in your mind, if this is what you have been waiting for, if this is what you have been looking for. I'm telling you, this is not normal. I know a lot of people must have been looking for something like this since ages past. It did not happen. We are meeting at the right day. Today I spent 4 to 5 hours in a temple. Like I'm yet to eat anything today. Like from morning, except water, did not touch anything. Today is a very special day, auspicious day in South India. So if you are getting started, it's a good day. That's the reason why the parents came from all the way saying that today is a very good day. So consider it's meant to be destiny also. Who knows, right? Yeah, perfect. So thank you for sharing your responses. For all those who are ready, I've already shared you the bad news that we have only 3 slots. That's one bad news. And the second part is there will be a price revision. So this price, we are continuing with the same price. Suresh has mentioned, right? Previous attempt, I came back, the price has increased significantly. There will be a price revision also. So if you want to avoid this too, not getting a extra hike in price or not losing the seat, this is an opportunity. Since you are listening to me live right now, since you are listening in the workshop, I don't want this opportunity to be given to others. So number one, I'm stopping the recording because the same price won't be available for a long time. So this is not the price, and the same number of seats may or may not be available when they watch it at some point of time. I'm stopping the recording. So this is only for people who are listening to me live right away in front of me. Okay, that is for only those people deserve to